Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. Well, it was a deluge this morning again. That's a couple of mornings this week that we've had quite a bit of rainfall, and we had some flooding. We had some flash flood warnings. That's all in the rearview mirror now. I don't see really anything over the weekend or into next week that's going to give us that kind of flooding situation. So waters are subsiding and the sun is starting to come out. Things look pretty good. But we needed the rainfall, but you know how it works around here. When we pick up rain, sometimes it leads to flooding or some kind of severe weather. So temperature out there right now, right at 72 degrees. Low this morning ended up being right where you would think. 70 degrees is the low, or the normal low. We hit 69 this morning. Record low 55 back in 1984. Record high 98 in 2003. All right, so here's what you can expect for the rest of the day. The sun is coming out. I think it's going to be a kind of a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy afternoon. Temperatures today topping out about 87, 88, somewhere in that vicinity. If you've got anything planned this evening, I'm thinking partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies for the evening. All right, let's take a look at where the rainfall is now. Most of it is pushed well over to the east, over towards Houston, still dealing with some lightning and thunder over in that direction. And of course, with this visible satellite imagery, where you see the dark shade, that is actually the ground. So yes, here in Bexar County, we're starting to see a little bit of some sunshine. Off to the south and west, we can see a little sun as well. And the showers across south central Texas are beginning to dissipate. And I think that that trend will continue as we head through the rest of the morning and into the afternoon. Now, we could destabilize a little bit this afternoon and see isolated showers. It's just not likely. After a big rain event like we had this morning, it's just not very likely that we would recover and see scattered showers in the afternoon. So I'm going to give it maybe a 10% chance. All right, temperature out there right now, 72. Seguin 74. Uvalde's coming in at 74. Gonzales 73. Pretty uniform. And you know what? I mean, what is this? We're almost in June, May 30th. We've got one more day in May, and then it's June for 11:38. 72 degrees, cannot beat that. Okay, let's take a look. We did have a little frontal boundary pushed through with that rain this morning, and you can see that frontal boundary now is kind of right along the northern portions of the Gulf and stretches somewhere between Corpus Christi and Brownsville. In the 70s behind that front, Midland's at 63, Dallas-Fort Worth's at 74 right now, and high pressure building into Oklahoma. So really nice temperatures again for this time of the year. All right, I think David is chiming in. How you doing, David? It's been a few days. David is saying, what's another word for thesaurus? What's another word for thesaurus? And I think I know where you're headed on that one, David. Always appreciate you chiming in. All right, high temperatures this afternoon, again, about 87, 88. Look at Dallas-Fort Worth, near 80. That's it for a high. Cannot beat that. Wichita, Kansas, 77. Omaha, Nebraska. Big things about to happen in Omaha, Nebraska with the College World Series. High today right around 80 degrees. Very, very nice. Of course, over at Phoenix, it is really hot there. Phoenix coming in at 102 for a high. New Orleans not bad in the mid-80s if you happen to be traveling there. Okay, let me expand a little bit. We're getting to that time of the year. It's almost June, almost hurricane season. Now in the Pacific, things begin a little earlier. So we already have a named storm out there in the Pacific. I believe it's Alvin. And Alvin is going to move to the north, not going to become a very strong storm. A lot of moisture spreading through Mexico, probably will not affect us. And over the weekend, I mean, the best we can hope for is just maybe hit and miss, maybe a 10 to 20% chance of a shower in the afternoon. There is one thing that's kind of interesting, though, and the GFS has this a little bit further east than some of the other high-resolution models. Let me, I can't zoom in here, but you can see it there Sunday morning moving across the Red River. Can you see that? GFS has this kind of over towards Houston, but there's some other high-resolution computer models that have it's a short wave, but has like a wind shift line coming in from the north and east, kind of through the back door. And if we get really warm Sunday, which I think we will in the low to mid 90s, that could spark off a few thunderstorms. So I'm going to give it a 20% chance for Sunday, and then maybe a 20% chance Monday and Tuesday. Upper level ridge is going to try to build in, and I think that's going to limit afternoon showers and storms from developing. I can't rule them out completely, but I'm just not going to include much Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There is a chance as we head into Friday and Saturday, maybe into that following weekend, that we could see some development. And I want you to look at this. This is just one computer model, and just use this with a grain of salt. But it looks like things are going to be heating up tropically in the mid part of June, it looks like. Definitely in the Pacific, maybe in the Atlantic, long way out. Probably shouldn't even have brought it up, but it looks like it's going to be pretty active, so we'll look at that. Keep that in the back of your mind. All right, for today, high temperature about 87, 88, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, again, look at that. I mean, just a few little isolated showers developing with the heating of the day. I'd say maybe a 10 to 20% chance for Saturday. And then Sunday, hopefully we can get to it. Let's see, Sunday, high temperatures will be in the lower 90s. There's that short wave that I was talking about right there. I think it's going to miss us to the east, but if you're watching from some of the eastern counties, you could have a strong thunderstorm Sunday evening. It's going to be a close call for us here in Bexar County, but definitely over to the east. All right, let's get to the pollen count real quick. Pollen count, we've only got molds, and that's it, 190 in light. Okay, I've been kind of holding this back. I'm going to give you some more information here in just a second. Let's see. Oh, Selena goes, why is Texas so bipolar? Someone give Texas medication so it behaves. I know, well, here, you know what? I know you were kind of joking, but I'm going to go back to this Texas map, and I'm going to tell you kind of why, especially here in San Antonio, why it's bipolar. Okay, we've got the bathtub, the moisture source in the Gulf of Mexico. We're really not that far away from it. And of course, Houston, Louisiana, we're really not that far away from Houston, Louisiana, where they pick up all kinds of rainfall. But then again, we're not that far from the real dry climate out in northern Mexico, and Big Bend and some West Texas, very dry, very desert-like. And so just depending on the pattern, we can have a prolonged period where we don't have any rainfall, but then again, because we're close to the Gulf of Mexico, if things are just right, then we can see some rain, and it seems like it just doesn't cut off. And yeah, you're right, Celine. I know you're kind of kidding, but that's why it's kind of bipolar here across South Central Texas. Okay, let's go. This is what I'm going to show you. The aquifer, 631.1, went up another foot in the last 24 hours, but the aquifer is responding to all this rainfall. The aquifer is up almost 8 feet in the last 7 days, making a dramatic comeback. I mean, it was down to 622, I think, or 623. We were way down there, but we're making a great comeback, and things are looking good for our aquifer, which is fantastic. One day, I know it seems hard to believe, but I think within the next year or two, you watch, that aquifer is going to be back to 670. It's a bold statement, I know, but you watch. Okay, so high temperatures today, 87, 88, 20% chance of a shower thunderstorm Saturday, Sunday afternoon. Highs upper 80s, lower 90s. First week of June is going to feel like the first week of June. Highs in the mid-90s. Heat index values close to 100. And I think the second week in June is going to be hot as well. Mid to upper 90s probably. Okay. All right. Appreciate you streaming with us. And Selena, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And David, appreciate you. Appreciate you all, guys. Thank you for streaming with us. Make sure and watch noon. I'll be doing the noon show. Make sure and watch 4, 5, 6, and 10. And it is Saturday tomorrow, so I won't be around, but I'll be around on Monday. And have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you later.